Over the years, SML has given us some of the wildest, most unexpected and downright absurd character deaths. Although they are usually ridiculous, they somehow make perfect sense in the SML universe. Today I will show you some of the craziest ways characters have met their fate. One of the most deserved deaths in SML is Nancy, Jeffy's biological mother. Nancy first appeared in the episode Jeffy's Parents, where we learn she has been in jail and only wanted Jeffy back to get child support. She was abusive, selfish, and made it very clear she saw Jeffy as nothing more than a paycheck. Eventually she got arrested, but her story didn't end there. On Jeffy's 18th birthday, she teamed up with an inmate named Screwball to escape prison and kidnap Jeffy. Her plan? Steal his inheritance money and kill him so he will not be in the way. That's right, she wasn't just a terrible mother, she was willing to murder her own son for money. Luckily her plan failed. Brooklyn guy showed up just in time and shot her multiple times, making sure she was really dead. It was brutal, but a fitting end for one of SML's worst villains. Fans were relieved that Jeffy was finally free from his abusive mother, or so we thought, because on Jeffy's 20th birthday Nancy came back. No explanation, no backstory, just a sudden return like nothing ever happened. Does that mean she survived after multiple shots? To be honest with you, it won't surprise me if she faked her death. Now, let's talk about another tragic and confusing death in SML, Jeffy's little sister, Phoebe. Do you remember that Phoebe was introduced as Jeffy's twin sister in Jeffy's Sister? She had the same diaper on the outside look, a similar helmet, and just as much energy as Jeffy. But unlike Jeffy, Phoebe was actually sweet and well-behaved. So, what happened to her? Well, she got hit by a car. But this is the weird part. Even though she had a full episode where she was alive and interacting with other characters, later episodes completely erased her. Jeffy mentioned her once in Jeffy's Parents, but his dad, Jacques-Pierre François, shut him down, acting like she never existed. Jeffy, you don't have a sister. It was probably just a dream. This left fans confused. Was she really gone? Was Jeffy just imagining her? Or did something darker happen? SML never gave a clear answer, but what we do know is that Phoebe disappeared after being hit by the car and Jeffy's life went on like she was never there. However, fans have differing opinions about who killed Phoebe. Some believe the death was the handiwork of one SML character who drives a white car, the same model as the one that hit Phoebe, and that's Woody. We see him driving it in. Jeffy loses his teeth, and that alone is suspicious. Plus, Woody is known for being reckless and killing things. He literally spends his time hunting shrimp. So, if someone who loves killing things was behind the wheel, maybe they didn't care about hitting Phoebe. And the fact that the driver just sped off after hitting her makes it even more likely. But with Woody having no real reason to want Phoebe gone, this theory does not hold water. So, who's the next person on the possible killer list? Nancy. Funny enough, this makes a lot more sense. We all know Nancy hated Phoebe. She abused both Jeffy and Phoebe when they were kids, and she literally tried to get rid of Jeffy by dumping him at Brooklyn Guy's front door. But what about Phoebe? Maybe instead of leaving her somewhere, she decided to make sure Phoebe was gone for good. Think about it. The car didn't even try to stop. That's not an accident, that's intentional. And who would actually want Phoebe dead? Nancy. No true fan won't know this guy. He probably died more times than any other character, but here's the thing. None of his deaths ever seemed to stick. One of his most famous deaths happened in Bowser's Jr. Thanksgiving. In this episode, Bowser wants a big Thanksgiving dinner, but of course, Chef Pee-Pee was the one stuck doing all the work. And when Bowser wouldn't stop yelling at him, Chef Pee-Pee completely lost it and ended up blowing up the entire house, taking Bowser with it. But that wasn't even the first time Bowser exploded. In Bowser's Casino Night, he got so carried away with gambling that he bet his own life and lost. And in Bowser's Christmas Problem, he just randomly blew up. Then there are times when Bowser gets straight up murdered. In Call of Duty Black Yoshi, he kept nagging Black Yoshi while he was trying to play his game. Black Yoshi got so annoyed that he just shot him. No hesitation. And let's not forget Bowser Jr.'s macaroni, the one where Bowser choked to death on mac and cheese. But here's where the magic comes in. No matter how many times Bowser dies, he always comes back. There's no explanation, no dramatic return, he just reappears in the next video as if his death never happened. At this point, it's basically a running joke in SML. So, is Bowser immortal? Maybe. Or maybe Logan just really enjoys killing him off in the most ridiculous ways possible. Either way, if Bowser dies in an SML video, don't be sad, he'll always come back like he always does. Patrick was one of those characters in SML who didn't really got a lot of screen time, but whenever he was around, you know he was going to do something random and off the wall. Patrick was very hyperactive and well known for his screams. He first showed up in first grade as one of Bowser Jr.'s classmates. He wasn't the smartest or most well-behaved kid, but he added some fun chaos to the scenes whenever he was in them. He was known for his loud personality and silly behavior. What's crazy is that Patrick's death came out of the blue. In the episode Jeffy's Birthday Wish, we get this wild moment of Patrick chilling with the other characters when suddenly, out of nowhere, he gets shot by a dolphin. And not just any dolphin, this dolphin's name is Lowen Dolphin, and he's a talking dolphin who randomly shows up and shoots Patrick. It was one of those absurd SML moments where you don't really expect something so random and over the top. There wasn't any build up to it, no emotional moment, it was just a sudden shot and boom, Patrick was gone. Unlike other characters like Bowser who get blown up or shot and somehow always come back to life, Patrick's death was final. And honestly, no one really knew what to make of it. It was such a strange and abrupt end for a character that had been part of SML for a while. But hey, that's SML. Some characters stick around and others just vanish with no explanation. Another character with a weird death is Mama Luigi, also known as El Weezy. Mama Luigi was this super funny, over-the-top version of Luigi. He wasn't just a normal Luigi clone, but completely different. He was loud, silly, and kind of clueless. But that's what made him so entertaining. He acted like a weird mother figure to Mario and others, which is why he got the name Mama Luigi. He first appeared in Mario and Luigi's Stupid and Dumb Adventures, and fans loved him right away. He had this goofy voice, he said the most random things, and he was always getting himself into ridiculous situations. Every time he showed up, you knew something crazy was about to happen. But then, out of nowhere, he was just gone. No more Mama Luigi. And fans were left wondering, what happened? Why would SML get rid of such a popular character? Well, the reason wasn't actually part of the story. It was something that happened in real life. Mama Luigi was voiced by Zeke, one of Logan's friends. He was a big part of SML's early days, but eventually he decided to step away from the channel. Since Logan didn't want to replace his voice with someone else, he decided it was best to retire the character completely. But instead of just making Mama Luigi disappear with no explanation, SML gave him an actual death scene. In Luigi's Mansion episode 7, he had one final moment. He sacrificed himself by blowing up in a massive explosion. It wasn't just some random joke death like some other characters have had. This was a real final goodbye. Unlike characters like Bowser or Cody, who die all the time and magically return, Mama Luigi was gone for good. SML never revived him and never brought him back in a dream or a flashback. It was the end of his story. Even though he was gone, fans never forgot about him. Some were so upset that they unsubscribed from Logan, causing him to leave YouTube for a while. Every now and then, SML would make little references to him, like a way of remembering the past. And honestly, that just shows how much people loved the character. Jeffy is one of those characters who just seems unkillable. He's been in so many dangerous situations, but somehow he always comes back like nothing ever happened. Even when he dies, it's never really permanent. One time fans thought Jeffy was gone for good was in the episode Jeffy's 18th birthday. This was a huge moment in SML because it was supposed to be a turning point for his character, but instead something crazy happened and he got blown up. So here's what went down. Jeffy was being targeted by a hitman hired by his real mom, Nancy. She wanted him gone so she could keep his inheritance money. The plan actually worked, or at least it looked like it did. A van exploded and Mario, now called Marvin, thought Jeffy was inside. The scene was actually really sad because Marvin and Rose, his wife, truly believed Jeffy was dead. But of course, this is SML, and nothing is ever that serious for long. A few minutes later, it was revealed that Jeffy was completely fine. He had never gotten into the van, so the explosion didn't actually kill him. It was just one big fake-out. Fans were shocked at first, but once they saw he was alive, it just became another crazy SML moment. That's not the only time Jeffy has died, though. he's had a bunch of other ridiculous deaths, like drowning in a pool. In one episode, Jeffy goes underwater and for a while it seems like he's not coming back up. But of course, he eventually does. Getting shot. He's been shot multiple times in different episodes, but he always somehow survives. Falling off cliffs or getting crushed. Again, he always magically returns. Unlike other SML characters who stay dead, like Mama, Luigi, or Patrick, Jeffy is one of those characters who never actually dies for real, even when something terrible happens to him. At this point, fans have accepted that Jeffy is basically immortal in SML. No matter what happens to him, he'll always find a way to return, usually with some ridiculous excuse. So yeah, Jeffy has died plenty of times in SML, but has he ever stayed dead? Nope, and honestly, I don't think he ever will. And that wraps up our look at some of the most absurd and unforgettable deaths in the SML universe. Thanks for watching these wild stories with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more SML content.